And we're back. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. We lost our internet connection, which takes the whole delicate, fragile pile of moving parts that makes this possible and just tears it all to the ground. But we're back due to the diligent work of Jacob Ross, our operator in the booth tonight. Once again, for Dayton Magic Club, I am Ryan Johnson, joined in the booth by
Noah Ross.
the incalculable Noah Ross. We are here to bring you round two of Modern, live from the Game Haven in Riverside, Ohio, where you too can get more for your games. Round two, match is underway. We joined it a little bit late due to our pre-mentioned technical difficulties. It is Logan Dice, who is a regular here at the Game Haven. Actually places pretty consistently as one of the top finishers here. Traditionally a red aggro-based player.
Red.
Plays burn and goblins and mono red. Just
mono red beatdown.
Yeah, just generally across multiple
boss
formats.
Whatever he can get his hands on.
And tonight he, however, is playing Merfolk. So that's a little new for him. It's actually mono blue, but it is still one of the linear kind of beatdown decks in the format. So it's still kind of in his wheelhouse. He is playing against Dayton Magic Club stalwart Kyle McDaniel. You'll see him there in his Dayton Magic Club t-shirt. He is playing blue-black fairies tonight with kind of the new tech that people are starting to adopt, Pack Rat.
Accurate.
So we don't know the exact state of the board here. Again, we came in late. It looks as though Kyle has been pack ratting diligently and thoroughly. And for all of the creatures Logan has in play, I don't see a lot of lords.
He's got one.
Yep.
And chances are good that the image is probably a lord.
So he's got a bunch of 3/3s.
He's got a live Mutavault. He's got a dead Aether Vial. Which is a bummer.
It's really kind of interesting, like the concept of when you think of traditionally like a tribal aggro deck, they function by assembling like a bunch of lords, and it looks like Logan was probably dead on that attack. And we're moving to what I think is game two. I think we joined this match pretty early. But you have this critical, going to game two. And Kyle did win that game. That was a lethal attack with the pack units. So, tribal aggro decks, especially Merfolk, but also goblins and Legacy to an extent, they play these lords, right? And you get these synergies from having a bunch of different creatures in play at the same time with the same tribal type. Like Merfolk plays all these lords. You get like Lord of Atlantis, Master of the Pearl Tribe, and Mirror Regery are like kind of the stock ones that are left. You used to see Coral Helm Commander as well, and some other things. But
he's not playing that.
I think they cut those for Master Waves from Master.
I don't play Coral Helm Commander for in its place. I play Phantasmal Image.
Okay.
Because it could be just better.
Sure.
Oftentimes when you're playing Merfolk in Modern, you'll run up against somebody who has bigger and better stuff out faster than you can keep up with. So it feels really good to image out a Tarmogoyf.
Sure, absolutely. No, I can certainly see the appeal.
Or some other giant monster that you can't deal with.
So,
it's really neat to be a Wormcoil engine, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Feels real good.
That makes sense to me. Now, I guess where I'm going with this is Kyle doesn't have any of that. Fairies doesn't have that Lord-based beatdown plan.
Nope.
But Pack Rat does kind of the same thing in a can, right? Like
it's its own.
It makes its own. It's like every time you activate it, you're playing another Lord of Atlantis.
Yeah.
So my question is this: in Modern, well, really in Eternal formats in general, we have seen sort of tribal aggro kind of bubble.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, is Pack Rat by itself in decks with otherwise good synergies, like, the fairy synergy with things like Bitter Blossom tokens plus Spell Stutter Sprite?
Yes.
You get a bunch of fairy permanents in play, and then you can counter a bunch of spells super cheap and continue beating down. Is Pack Rat just so efficient at being a tribal strategy all on its own that it kind of obsoletes the older style of tribal strategies?
It could.
It could.
The problem with having Pack Rat be a tribal guy is that he is his own lord, but there are no other lords that are worth playing
Sure.
to help them out.
So basically, you draw a pack ready, you don't draw any rats. It's not like
exactly.
you have a rat deck going on.
You're not striving to find another rat.
So that's something to consider as we start to see the tribal strategies start to fall away. And what's interesting to me, of course, in Modern, uh, like let's say like one of the cleanest you get from a Legacy deck to Modern deck is Merfolk, right? You get to play like so many of the same cards.
Yep.
You lose like your good counter spells, and that's it.
You lose Days of Force of Will and Wasteland if you want it.
Yeah.
True Name Nemesis is a real card, but that deck was a deck for True Name Nemesis.
Sure.
Just got a little better.
Yeah, for sure. In fact, you could arguably say that Fish, its true heyday in Legacy was predated True Name Nemesis.
Right.
I mean, it won Grand Prix Columbus. Tomohiro Saito won Fish. Long before the break. That was sort of its high watermark, I think, but it became kind of one of the decks to beat in the format.
It lost a lot of ground when they printed Delver.
Yeah.
Because it just took the tempo and the goodness of playing a blue aggro deck.
Right.
And just kind of moved it to the side and said, I'll just play a Delver in Force of Will instead of Curse Catcher.
Yeah. And I think that Abrupt Decay hurt it like it hurt a lot of decks.
Oh, yeah.
Any deck that was trying to assemble a combination of powerful synergistic creatures and protect them with counter spells was hurt by Supreme Verdict and Abrupt Decay.
Right.
For sure. And Fish is definitely a critical mass kind of deck.
Yeah.
You're not going to win with your individual Grizzly Bears all that often. No. You are going to win by turning them all into 6/6s and island walking your opponents.
Which is extremely relevant in this match. Well, while Kyle's fairies are all flyers.
Yes.
All of Logan's guys can be island walkers.
This is true.
So,
So that's really kind of just some general musings on Merfolk. Let's move on to fairies. Fairies, one of like the dominant boogeymen of its day. One of one of those decks that just really grabs a format and will not let go. Back in Lorwyn Standard, it was, by far and away, head and shoulders the deck to beat.
Yeah.
You get to play basically that entire deck in Modern with a little better mana, and you don't really gain a whole lot else. You're almost playing the standard deck, just reconfigured a little bit with better mana. So it was considered to be such a strong threat to Modern that it was preemptively banned. Bitter Blossom was on the original Modern ban list. It just recently came off, and it really... It's okay. I'd say that it is a solid choice right now.
Yep.
But it certainly didn't damage the format. It looks like Bitter Blossom is a safe card for Modern. We could probably all agree that's true.
Reasonably powered.
So
rather than overpowered.
Fairies, the disruptive aggro control deck, Thoughtseize and counter spells.
The secret of Fairies is that everything has flash.
Yes.
And everything is so.
And sometimes you go turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Bitter Blossom.
And good luck.
And Kyle playing kind of more Bitter Blossoms in that he's playing Pack Rat, which can also kind of fill.
You know if he's playing 4?
I don't know. I haven't seen his list. I've seen a couple of the Pack Rat lists floating around, and I think 4 is probably the number.
Yeah, it seems like the right choice as well. I think 8 Bitter Blossoms is just...
Yeah, it seems just fun when you're a Bitter Blossom deck. Right?
Do you know if he's playing the full suite of the fairies, or is he just playing like Spell Sludge Sprite and Bitter Blossom?
I don't know. I know a lot of the fairies decks have moved away from Pink, saying that it was not super well positioned. There isn't a ton of control or combo in Modern at the moment.
There's not.
And
or let me ask you this: is it that the combo lists are too resilient against?
Let me rephrase. There's not the stack-based combo decks,
right,
that need to assemble a critical mass of cards in their hand in one turn.
Yep.
Like which is what Vendilion Clique is traditionally good against.
Right.
That can break up those synergies in hand. The combo decks in Modern are like Pod, and that looks like a
First Catcher died
to a single black removal spell. I don't think it's a Pepper Smoke.
It may have been a Thoughtseize.
I think it's on the table. I think it might have been a Disfigured. Oh, counter Thougtseize. Okay. Yeah.
So he countered
And this is the kind of thing you have to do with the merfolk deck, right? You need to protect your hand because you need to assemble this critical mass.
That's just as good.
And he was protecting.
Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the adept is a good card.
Adept could chain into Adept and then Master Waves.
He says that's
Yeah, the army in a can. Master Waves is the kind of thing where you could see the fairy deck go turn 2 Bitter Blossom. You could just get overwhelmed by it. Fairies isn't great at playing from behind. It's got a lot of 1/1s for 2 with flash, and
right.
Bitter Blossom takes a couple turns to get going. Fairies is really kind of wants to thoughts use a couple times and then really keep you from too much.
Right. Fairies kind of reminds me of really old school Control, where they play like Frenetic Freed, something like that.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm gonna play a guy, and I'm gonna counter stuff that matters, and I'm just gonna keep counting a little bit at a time.
Kyle is playing Click because he just clicked here.
Did he take anything?
I think he said keep him.
Said I'm gonna unload my hand, and he's got nothing. Got no lords at the
time.
Yeah,
I would say Logan's hand would be classified as slow.
Yeah,
for a merfolk.
Very slow, very soft. He did have.
No, we're going to get it from our operator because I think we're drawing a blank. Engineered explosives. It's the,
that's what I was thinking of.
Yep. Modern Master.
And in this board state, it looks pretty stinking good.
Yep, that's going to be a beating.
He put on 2.
Yeah, that's more power off the board.
Does engineered explosives read 2 or less?
No.
Counters or less? Or
no, it's a precision weapon.
Gotcha. So if Logan is able to find a lord, it'll be eaten by that engineered explosive.
Yes. He's got to put enough pressure.
He's doing it right now. So let's do it.
Yep. Sure. Kyle feels pretty confident. Logan's out of gas. Kyle's got a good clock. I think that he's feeling like it's just time to protect his life total as much as he can and race hard.
Kyle's at 10 life. If Logan is able to peel a lord right here, that's 6 damage. That's relevant. Doesn't look like he did. Logan's coming over for 3.
For 3 1/1s.
And let's remember that Kyle's playing fairies, and he's probably going to drop a Mistbind Click and just eat somebody.
I don't know if he has Mistbind Click or not. Again, the fairies list, some of them are fairies, but they're really blue-black control with Bitter Blossom. Some of them have more fairies. Some of them do all up to Mistbind. So let's see.
Oh,
that's a cryptic command. Who will bounce your Aether Vial. Logan will respond.
Uses Aether Vial.
Kyle is probably dead.
No, he's not dead yet. Go. Now Kyle needs an engineered explosive or something.
Yeah, he could also chain together cryptic commands for a couple of turns.
Yeah, he's not dead.
But
he just revealed a card.
Kyle is passing the turn. That doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot in this match. All his guys have flash. You talk.
They know.
But here comes Logan. No fear.
Booga booga. What is that?
That's a good question. What is that foil?
Probably not Doomblade.
We'll get an update from our operator. I can't quite make that out.
Well, Logan is responding with a Vapor Snag on his own guy.
Yep.
Kyle says, okay.
Snag resolved. Lose
a life, Logan.
For that privilege.
He says this.
Time to block with click. I think that means we have another click. Yes, it does. Getting some value out of that click. And then he clicks.
Is his vial at 1?
Yeah, because he got bounced. Yeah, so he Vapor Snagged his own Lord. Kyle blocks and then clicks away the Lord from Logan's hand with the fresh click.
Did he bounce an island?
So that was kind of a rough turn.
But he's at
Yep.
Kyle being at 2. That's important.
Kyle's got to get that Lord off the board because he's just
He's
dead.
just dead.
Yeah. So.
And he did. He took care of it with the click.
Yep.
Live on the bottom of the library for this game.
That'll happen for every once in a while.
It's no man's land as they can get. Logan's trying to play with his side. Good.
So, taking up the vial, you draw it, drew a blue card.
He did.
It is a Lord of Atlantis.
Uh-oh.
So we're going to get in, and we are going to...
Blah.
I love that nice white bordered Lord of Atlantis, by the way.
Very nice. I couldn't find any 6th edition ones, so
yeah, neither can I.
That's a 5th.
I have it built too, and all of mine are white. Except one of mine's unlimited, which I think is pretty sweet.
That is very sweet.
Kyle is holding Cryptic Command.
So he's going to have to fire that off right here. He just loses.
Yep. Cryptic Command.
That.
Bounce your... Or count... No, can't count the Lord. It was violent. Bounce the Lord. And it's got to be... No, it's not tapping. Okay, because he did it after attack, so he couldn't tap the guys at this point. That's safe. All right. Combat. Bounce draw. Yeah, that's what I figured it would probably be. Cast the Lord.
Hard casting Lord. Kyle's looking for anything.
Dismember is not live here. He's drawn pretty slim. He needs a way to deal with both creatures, and really he needs to get... There's one.
Yeah, that's a way.
I don't think he has any islands, does he? Or any of those... The deck is actually really light on islands.
Uh-oh.
That's a disfigure. Love disfigure.
Disfigure's awesome.
All right, and...
Is that a batter skull?
That is a batter skull.
That's legit.
All right, so the tables have turned. This is where you really want that Coral Helm Commander.
Did you draw the Vapor Snag?
Is that a Vapor Snag?
It's a Spell Snag.
No, Vapor Snag would have been good.
Well, I think that Logan may have made a mistake.
What do you think the mistake was?
When he had 2 Curse Custards out, his opponent had but 1 land up.
Mm-hmm.
He could have... stacked a guy.
Nope. I think his play's been okay.
Yeah, he's been fine.
I didn't spot.
I thought that maybe he could have.
So now Kyle
says,
in the driver's
let's
seat.
Do this.
Now, Logan can take a hit or two,
yeah.
but he needs to draw well. He needs to some lords and in a hurry.
He needs it real bad. He needs to either hit a land or a lord here. Just, well, he won't because Kyle just gained a bunch of life.
Kyle's at 5 now. And has a batter skull back to block.
Way more.
Taking a look at what's left in Logan's deck.
He's also got 4 up.
He does, but I don't think he has any cards in his hand.
But the 4 up is relevant if Logan decides to try batter's call.
Sure, I don't think Logan has a way to kill the batter skull itself, does he?
He does in his 75, but I doubt that he would bring it in this.
What's he out? Yeah, Echoing Truth seems fine. So, reading Batter Skull, yeah, it's that bad.
It is bleak. Not good.
What he needs here is Psionic Blast. How excited would you be if he just ripped Psionic Blast?
I would be amazed. Logan's actually playing my deck. This is my list.
Yeah, Psionic Blast doesn't even do it.
Extremely.
Even Psionic Blast, the power of Psionic Blast doesn't get him out of this situation.
Be there.
Right?
2. Devotion is at 2.
Trigger.
Trigger?
You have the tokens. You have tokens. All right.
Get a
Tokens.
fake token. It's a scroll storm token. What about that?
I'm not worried about it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what is that? Mother? Oh, I can't.
It's a
Can't
dismember.
Dismember will do the trick. Oh, we'll get that guy out of the way, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And his friends. Although the Logan does have a spell pierce.
Yeah, it's not going to do it.
What he needs here is some way to have his opponent not have mana.
Yeah, that'd be good. Like a mana short.
Like a mana short.
Mana short would be good. back in the Psychotog mirrors.
There you go. He says,
Pierce it.
that guy. And then Kyle says, that's pretty neat. Hey?
Kyle pays. Okay.
He sacked this guy. Ooh. That?
Echoing Truth is
Echoing
good.
Truth. Yeah.
So he did bring in Echoing Truth.
Look.
And he got it. Whew. That was a narrow window he had.
That was masterful.
That was well navigated. That was
And he
well
played to his
navigated.
outs.
He played to his outs.
Like, I gotta get this master. Just lose. I didn't realize he had Echoing Truth the whole time.
Yeah, he was just sandbagging it.
He's a horrible person for doing that. Not really. He did great.
Oh, we're finding out that Logan mulled the 5 that game.
Wow.
Pretty impressive stuff.
Low.
And again, a slow start, but kind of matched by no real big bombs from Kyle's side of the table.
Kyle wasn't able to put enough pressure on early. He put like no pressure on early. He was playing the reactive counter destroy guy.
And you know what's really
deck.
good against that line? When your opponent is on the spot removal plan.
Yep.
You just chain together those Silver Girl adepts.
Yep.
And you just end the game with a bunch of cards in hand, and then those turn into Merfolk, and that turns into dead players.
Yep.
So that was the old thing back in Legacy. The rule of thumb was one of the reasons Merfolk was so good against the control decks of its time. The control deck would 1-for-1 you, or 1-for-2 you, like they would force away you once, and maybe Swords to Plowshares you a couple of times, and they'd each be drawing only one card a turn, and the Merfolk deck would resolve a Silver Girl Adept and win, basically on the spot. Like, just get up a card, and then once you were up, it just kind of, it's that slow but steady snowballing process that usually results in a victory. That's kind of what we saw there. Kyle really had no way to recoup the card advantage that Logan gained there in the early game. He kind of undid his mulligan.
Yep.
And managed to grind it out with some good play on that final couple of turns, setting up
Master of Waves showing its worth. There's a debate going around of the Merfolk players in Modern whether Master Waves is worth it or not.
Yeah, I've seen that. I'm not going to hold myself up as a Merfolk expert.
Right.
I'm not. I play the deck a little bit. I play it, or I have played it in Legacy a fair amount, and I play a little bit in Modern as well, and I play Master Waves currently.
Right. Clearly it won that game by itself, right there.
Yeah.
If he had drawn any other creature, it would not have been good enough.
Not enough damage in one creature.
And
it does dodge the primary, or most of the primary removal spells in the format.
Yep.
You can't bolt it, you can't lightning helix it, you can't electrolyze it.
All true.
And the Gen deck can't terminate it or abrupt decay it.
Correct.
So all these things are good points. However, all those spells are good at keeping your devotion count low and kind of minimizing its impact.
Right, but you don't need much.
No, you don't, as we just saw.
If you're putting the pressure on like Logan did that entire game, and you can play a Master Waves off your Vial.
Yeah.
I mean, you only got 2 tokens. Nothing like we've seen in Standard recently,
right,
where they get 7-8 tokens. It's not going to be like that typically.
No, their removal's too good in Modern.
So, and...
Do you play any Kiras?
No. I just took that out for another Phantasmal Image.
Okay.
I got 3 Phantasmal Image. I'm testing it out. I like Kira a lot.
I do too. I think I play one on my main, one on board.
It's real scary and real good. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends on what's happening.
Abrupt Decay makes Kira worse.
Abrupt Decay makes Kira worse. That's absolutely an issue.
as Abrupt Decay does for so many other things.
Yeah, Abrupt Decay has really surfaced quite a bit in modern recently.
Yeah.
The rock lists are winning all over the place. People are cramming it in their pod decks.
Yep.
It's just a fantastic
No,
card.
just a nice universal answer. It's one of the
Yep.
very few things in the format that can kill Tarmogoyf and Liliana of the Veil. And, obviously anything else, but like the ability to hit all the efficient creatures. Not that the counter spells in modern are particularly good, but
Yeah, the counter magic in modern is iffy at
I think it's
best.
probably one of what I think of as the defining characteristics of modern is that the card selection spells and the counter spells are all bad.
Mm-hmm.
So you see decks like Pod, which have these tutor chains and card advantage engines that are atypical from what we're used to seeing in Eternal formats. They're not blue, but they play the best card selection spells in the
Yep.
format, which is like Court of Calling and
Calling.
Birthing Pod. Like I don't think that's an
Pod.
accident that that's one of the best decks in the format, and
Nope.
because the other decks don't get to play the same level of card selection.
There was a banning recently on for Deathray Shaman. It's like Kyle's going down.
Mm-hmm.
It's like maybe to 5 here. That's rough.
And Logan's hand
Looks like Logan's hand is
I see it
lands and spells.
Yep, there's the Lord of Atlantis and some Merfolk.
No, to like 4 or something.
Our operator says Kyle is not finding a hand with a good mix of
That's bad.
answers and the cards to cast them.
Logan's being nice and donating a Squirrel Storm token. Just trying to even it up.
That's very generous.
He's taking it back.
He's
taking it back. He says no.
Kyle's having trouble finding colored sources.
Kyle needs to hit a couple of lands and a couple spells right here.
I don't even know. Fairy is not a deck that mulligans outrageously well. It's definitely is requiring a combination of sequencing of spells. Pack Rat maybe would be the answer here.
Island, go. Bam, bam.
Yep.
Pack Rat from out of nowhere. Do it.
And
there he goes.
Vapor Snag it. We're playing the tempo game here.
We're doing it.
Pack Rat is scary if you're Logan. I think it's one of the very few cards that Kyle has access to that can help him win this game.
Yep.
But Vapor Snagging it is so huge because it's going to be another 2 full turns before it gets really active.
Uh-oh.
We have a Disfigure or Dismember?
Disfigure. It's like Disfigure.
Yeah, it's a Disfigure. I don't know if Kyle's playing a Dismembers or not, but Disfigure's certainly a good one.
Boom, Reedry.
Reedry, another Lord.
But that Lord lets, oh dear.
Kyle is, yep.
Kyle
here we go.
This is what you call putting up a fight.
Now that looks like a Mutavault in Logan's hand.
Logan's got a Mutavault. Looks like an Echoing True. No, that's an Island. Island. Spell Pierce in there and an Image.
Logan is actually out of proactive threats.
Relevant stuff. He's got a Mutavault.
He may be thinking about activating it and Phantasmal Imaging in it.
And Phantasmal
I mean, just to get...
I believe that's exactly what he's doing.
Well, Kyle's still on the back foot.
He says pressure is a necessity.
Yeah.
Dance. Make the sky alive.
Yep, that is what we're going to see here.
We're going to see an image that becomes a Mutavault. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. So now that Phantasmal Image is outright a land.
It becomes a land.
So he just paid 2 to Farseek?
Yeah.
Bad Farseek?
It's not the best Farseek that I've ever seen.
So there's no shenanigans like if he turns him on, he dies or anything weird like that, right?
Right.
It says that guy and this guy. One excellent thing is that Mutavault works so good with this Lord plan because it's all creature types.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
So it just gets pumped up if he plays a Lord of it.
Are we gonna play another Phantasmal Image here?
Sure is. Boom!
Oh, this is awesome.
Enter. Who's here? All right.
Who was that?
It's hard to say.
Someone is pounding on our booth here. I don't know who that was. I don't know what they wanted, frankly.
Just say hi.
I was going to say hi. It was nice of them.
Hello. Logan is over here beat down on
Beaten
the
down
land plan.
on the land plan.
This guy's like, I don't even care right now. I'm gonna make a dude.
We're just gonna activate my mutavaults, possibly all my fake mutavaults.
What's he
Is there a
doing?
lord? A lord. We get this ramped up a little bit. Another phantasmal image.
You've got to be kidding me. Outright joking. Just made. So if you phantasmal image something like a mutavault, does it lose its casting cost things to contribute to devotion? Does it become an exact copy?
It becomes an exact copy.
And retains the wording if the target dies.
That's correct.
So Kyle's drawing all of his little spot removal spells that can keep him in this game.
Sure.
Logan's draw thus far, he's pretty far ahead, we can't forget that Kyle mulled 4, so that's to be expected.
He's done a really good job of breaking up Logan's offense, and he's left him with 3 phantasmal images that are all mutavaults.
That's just not where Logan wants to be.
No, it's not his plan A.
Considering that Kyle is so low on resources that
honestly,
he might.
If Kyle had a 3rd land,
it'd be really bad.
It wouldn't matter. You'd be in amazing shape right now.
I lost a match to all the who cares, and Kyle's really upset, and he should be. All right.
Yeah, Kyle had engineered explosives that couldn't do anything with his mutavault.
Wow. Oh, that's funny.
That was an incredible game. Kyle on a mull 4 manages to break up all of Logan's lords, and tribal synergies, and anything like that you would ever think of what a folk deck could do. Yep. And Logan wins by copying
the Thespian stage.
Yeah, the Thespian stage point.
The Thespian stage beatdown. Obviously the best path to victory.
So,
clearly.
Yeah. That was something. That's not how I expected that to go.
I feel bad for Kyle to have to mold
that. That was quite a fight.
It looked like Kyle was well prepared.
If he had...
if you look at what he's taking out of his deck, he
had engineered explosives, which is very good.
Excellent.
He had all kinds of removal. We saw...
Is that a Threads of Disloyalty?
Those are Threads of Disloyalty.
That's real good.
All kinds of Disfigures, which is really good.
Yeah.
Disfigure can be bad if you let the lords stack up.
Sure.
But it's really good at keeping that from happening.
Exactly.
And we saw it there, just like play a guy, kill a guy, play a guy, kill a guy, play a guy, kill a guy.
So what's Kyle doing right now is explaining to Logan how he should have won.
Just think if Kyle had played Bitter Blossom on 2.
Yeah.
If that had hit a 3rd land for that pack rat, that plan...
Yeah, Logan's plan would have
mono kill all your disfigure all your guys would have probably carried him to victory.
Yes,
I think that's a very good plan.
Yeah,
if you're backing it up with a powerful threat like Bitter Blossom or Pack Rat.
Right. I was playing a standard matchup. It was the guy mulligan, I think, to 5, and he hit the 2-land Pack Rat plan, and I think I killed it, but he got it back up, and then eventually he hit it a 3rd land. And my side of the board was just fine. I was doing what I needed to do. And I just ran out of answers for his pack rat, which is really sad because he was sitting over there with 3 land and a pack rat. And I've got goodies all over the place, and it's not enough.
Not enough.
It was frustrating, to say the least.
Yeah, pack rat may, that's kind of the buzz. The pack rat may see that modern resurgence or prominence because you look at it, people are not playing cards that are good against Pack Rat in Modern. There's very few sweepers.
There are no sweepers.
No Bile Blights, no Maelstrom Pulses. All this stuff is kind of fallen by the wayside because the format is resilient to them. And Pack Rat may find a hole there to exploit. It's a very powerful threat.
I feel like because of Modern's card pool, a Pack Rat strategy can't take over. It's easy because one of the best decks is red, white, blue control.
Yeah, but they've cut all their Supreme Verdicts.
Exactly. But they could just as easily put them back in.
That's very true.
If they find that Pack Rat's taking over, then they can just cram them back in there.
Well, that was round 2. Kind of a weird one, but I think an interesting one. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it
quite a
was
bit.
very interesting. I didn't expect the mainland beatdown.
Once again, we are Dayton Magic Club, bringing you modern FNM from the Game Haven, live here in Riverside, Ohio. Join us for round 3. We're going to go pick out a good one for you. Thanks for watching.